of the City of Jackson, Daniel Mahoney. Mayor, welcome to the show.
Good afternoon. How you doing, Bart?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Everyone got a postcard from the city in the last couple of weeks telling them, in most cases, you have a new place to vote, you live in a new ward or precinct.
Yep.
Redistricting moved people around.
It did. I mean, quite a bit of redistricting from the state level to the county level to the city level as well. Has to be done every 10 years, of course. And it usually follows the track of where people are moving to, and that kind of determines how much or how drastically those lines are going to be redrawn. And of course, you got to do it when you can.
Yeah, I have a new city council person. I'm in a new ward. I have I'm in a new state representative district, new state senate district, new U.S. Congress district. There are new county districts. So everyone in Jackson County is in a new district of some sort.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why it's critical to make sure that you are checking that website to make sure you know exactly where you need to go to vote, who's going to be on your ballot, and all of the rest of those details of what you have to vote on when it's election time, which is right around the corner.
The State Secretary of State said that more than 1.2 million people have asked for an absentee ballot, which is an increase of more than 100% from 2018 when the law changed, allowing no excuse absentee balloting. How about in Jackson? Do we have a lot of absentee requests?
You know, I'll have to ask the clerk if she's noticed an increase in requests for absentee ballots. I think what's happening right now is people are so comfortable doing things from home. Work from home is changed since COVID, of course, which really was just something that was already coming. I mean, the future of work is working from home or working remotely. And I think that the more people get comfortable with the idea that it's safe to vote from a mail-in ballot, the more comfortable they'll be getting it done, because I think people just want their voice to be heard, which is why you're going to see so many more people requesting that mail-in ballot, because they know they can get it done, get it mailed back in, and not have to worry about, am I going to have to work that day? I'm going to have time that day. Is there going to be lines that day of the election? And I want to make sure that my vote is counted. So I encourage people to vote however they feel comfortable. I know myself and my family, myself and my wife, we prefer to go to the polls that day. I mean, it's like a tradition, and it's been that way since we've both been very young and traveling home from college to come home to vote together. That's how long me and my wife been together. We would come home on that election day and go and vote and visit family and then go back off to college. So I think that it's important for people to vote how they feel most comfortable.
You can see your ballot in advance either through the Secretary of State's website or the Jackson County website, the election section. Also check with either your city clerk or your township clerk to find out where you vote. And there are, in addition to names, individuals running for office, we also have some issues. The Jackson Area Transportation Authority has a request for city residents, and there are township and school district requests on the August ballot. So check it out.
It's a very important election. Absolutely.
Yeah, it really is a very important election.
I mean, every election is important, but you know, I think that when you have so many changes going on, at least to be familiar with where you need to go to and who's on your ballot and what's changed about it, it's going to be important to pay attention to.
City Council will not change because this is what's called the off year.
That's right.
So no new faces will show up in City Hall. We've got, earlier this week, Jonathan Green was here. We asked him about the haze. I'd say he's cautiously optimistic. But you recall when Jonathan first came to Jackson, his job was DDA director, and that was one of the first things that they assigned him, do something about the haze. and he's been working on it ever since.
Yeah, I mean, I think he is rightfully, consciously optimistic. I'm probably the opposite of him. I'm overly optimistic. I believe you got to speak things into existence, and I've been doing so since I've met this group of investors who have taken this project on. I do know that the due diligence period that they were given is nearing an end, which I'm excited about because there hasn't been any wavering along this path of them like deeply exploring everything that they're going to have to do and doing their due diligence to make sure that they know exactly what they're getting into. So we haven't heard anything or been shown any signs that they are wavering or changing their mind. So I'm still excited to see it happen. I think that it's a jewel in our community, and will be great to see the lights back on in that building once it happens.
A lot of the hesitancy on past potential investors, the market potential we've seen with the 200, the Albert Kahn, the Lofts on Louis, Francis Senior Lofts, all fill up instantly. That's got to be.
And it's a change of formula also. I think one of the biggest difference that I've noticed is in the past we've all wanted, and I say we as a community, we want the hotel back, right? But the formula for that just does not work. And that's the first thing that they pointed out. Look, we can probably bring this back to life. We can take a project this large on, but it probably will not be a hotel. Here's what we have in mind. And it kind of accommodated for that desire to have hotel space or rental space by having some Airbnb available on a couple of the floors, but having it be condos and apartments, I think was the biggest change in this formula that they presented. And it's still going to be beautiful, still going to activate the retail spaces that are on the lower levels and the ballroom space and all of those beautiful amenities that are inside of the building itself will be utilized, which is great. So I'm just really looking forward to seeing that time wind down, just watching it carefully and speaking as positively about it as possible, and making sure that we dot our I's and cross our T's and do what we need to do on our end to make sure we see the deal through.
There is still a need for a downtown hotel, or there suddenly is, and I would say a need. For many years, nobody really was interested, but now we get those requests. People that are looking at coming to town are asking about what are the downtown hotels.
Yeah, and as downtown continues to grow and we continue to do positive things in the community, those types of requests are going to continue to come in. And I think until we see some additional growth, have some additional sustainability in the infrastructure that we've built so far, I'm not so sure how quickly we'll be able to put a hotel downtown. But I think it's something that I could definitely see happening in the next 5 years, especially if we continue on this wave of more new businesses downtown, restaurants and shops and shopping experiences and reasons to be in the downtown area. I just had a uncle who texted me this morning. Grandparents are sick right now, and he was just texting me asking how my grandfather was doing. And he said, man, I had a chance to stop in town for dinner. So my grandparents live out in Irish Hills out at Evans Lake. And he lives in Denver, and he was in town visiting and came in town. And he said, man, I've never seen so many people downtown Jackson. He came downtown to eat and just really commended us for how much work has been put into the downtown area and how popping it is downtown right now.
It is. It's amazing.
It is. It really is.
One of the things you'd like to see downtown and or on the south side is some sort of grocery store.
Absolutely. I think the citizens of the south side of Jackson have made it extremely clear that they want a grocery store. And rightfully so. I think, when you start talking about revitalizing a community, you have to start with putting the building blocks, or what I would consider the building blocks of what makes a community a community. what makes a neighborhood a neighborhood. I mean, of course, you want well-maintained infrastructure, your streets, your street lights, and all of the things that we are supposed to control as a city. But then you also want those amenities that make it comfortable for you to be a community. You want a grocery store, you want a gas station, you want a place that you can go get checked out medically, possibly a dentist office, and then you also want some type of financial institution where you can do your banking at. And those are the building blocks that I think are necessary to start with to really revitalize Jackson's South Side. And it is really an honor and a privilege to be at the table, not only as mayor, but also a member of the MLK Corridor Authority to help see that work through. We've made some great strides in that area, but you know, of course, the pendulum of change is not something that happens overnight. So we're not expecting things to happen overnight, but we just want to make sure that we're making steady, continuous progress in the right direction. So the city has purchased a parcel of land over on Prospect. It has a great potential to be a location for a grocery store. It's right in a great location. I mean, and I think another thing that, again, just differences between when this request was happening in the past in comparison to right now is how many more households we actually have between the downtown area, including the South Side area, and some of the new projects that are coming in. Also, the Greenwood Apartments, the Blackstone Apartments that'll be coming in, the Hayes Hotel that'll be lighting back up soon, and some of those additional projects that can add additional rooftops, so to speak, to the number of houses that people are looking at, or investors, grocers are looking at when they're thinking about and considering putting a business in that part of the community. Because I'm pretty sure that people would not mind a 4 or 5 block drive to go to the grocery store from downtown.
Yeah, you're right, and I think it is. It's going to be market forces. The entrepreneur is going to recognize there's.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, our parks, another area that the city is focusing on some improvements. Loomis Park, primarily, quite a lot going on there.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, if you look at our 3 major parks, we got Ellis Sharp that has undergone quite a bit of change over time with the clearing of trees and walking paths and trails and all of those different things that we've added in Ellis Sharp. And then the beautiful renovation of the King Center. I think the most natural next place for us to stop at would be over at Loomis Park, and I'm like really happy with all of the designs that we've been shown for the renovation of that park, and I think it's much needed. I mean, my kids think that it's a pretty cool park, you know, because there's so many little hiding spots and stuff like that when you're playing tag in that park that exists there right now. But as a parent, you always cringe when your kids are running across and running through that park, because it is not, it's not 100% safe, I would say. Just, I mean, speaking from a parent's perspective. And I think that's one of the things I look forward to, is seeing that park be more safe, seeing that the Booth Center be able to be more utilized and have a renovation also. It's just going to be great to see another one of our parks be updated and be more user-friendly and more inviting for children from around that part of the community to be able to have a safe place to play.
You're also adding lighting to the MLK Quality Trail.
Yep.
I think pouring concrete right now.
Yes, indeed. That project is underway right now. So that'll be additional lighting. That'll take us all the way out to the city limits of our part of that trail, the MLK Equality Trail, and putting lighting down that portion is going to be much needed. Also,
the city is getting investment to reconstruct some of that trail, make it wider, and there's some cracks and speed bumps in it right now.
Yep, I think it's going to be nice to see that trail lit up again. You know, again, to it makes it safer when you got the lights down there. People feel more comfortable, and making it wider will make it easier when you got people walking versus biking, or you got people coming 2 different ways. So.
All right, Gus Macker downtown this weekend. Are you going to throw the ceremonial free throw?
You know, I haven't spoke to the people from the Gus Macker yet about that. I'm trying to get them to let me into the slam dunk contest. You know, they're going to have to lower the rim. to like 6 feet, and then I'll have a good shot. But I'm just looking forward to seeing all the people downtown. I really am. I think we gotta. It's hard to find a weekend when there's nothing to do. It's almost like there's everything going on,
Yeah.
or there's nothing going on in our weekends. But it's only so many weekends during these nice months that we have to choose from. But it's always nice to have so many things to choose from the Hot Air Jubilee to the Southside Summerfest to the Gus Macker happening right downtown. So I will be making appearances at as many places as I possibly can with my crew with me this weekend.
All right, we'll see you around. Thanks for coming in.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. Have a good day.
You too.
All right.
The mayor of the city of Jackson, Daniel Mahoney.